All right, y'all, you ready for a little real life today? I'm gonna give it to you. CR's gone fishing. I don't know how much we talk about CR's fishing adventures. We don't really talk about them much, but he goes fishing with my dad. My house is a disaster behind me. The garbage is open. Why, you ask? Because the cats. Because my cats open the garbage with their little cat hands. They slide it open and then they dig in it. I'm like, what are you, a street rat? Like, do I change your name to Aladdin? What? I feed you all the time. Why do you need to eat everything that is not meant for cats? And I hear them in the middle of the night slide open the garbage can and they dig around and eat out of it. It's absolutely disgusting. I don't know what's wrong with them. That's an aside. Everything else is also a disaster. That is my fault and the children's fault, not always the pet's fault. But it's messy around here. I've got a lot of cleaning to do. I've got a lot of things to do. I did, for the first time in maybe like 2 years, sit down on the sofa this morning. It's Saturday. Sat down. Is it Saturday? No, it's not. It's Friday. It's not Saturday. I've got this, guys. Got it under control. Everything's under control. It's fine. It's fine. It's Friday. We just sat down and hung out on the couch this morning. And then, you know what we had for breakfast? We had from scratch. No, we didn't. We had nothing from scratch. We had from a can cinnamon rolls. And you know why? Because sometimes that's just okay. You don't have to make everything from scratch. You don't have to like homemade this and homemade that. I love the people who do. I love y'all super healthy people who make delicious, amazing things for your children. I'm sure my children wish you were their mother too. But in this house, sometimes we get biscuits from a can. We get cinnamon rolls from a can. And that's what we had for breakfast this morning. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it was delicious. I have no regrets. I don't think they do either. We gotta clean up. We gotta clean up this disaster. I have a couple things I wanna like share with you.
Sorry, Mom.
It's like she heard me say disaster and she was like, let me show you. All the sound of broken glass. There's not broken glass, but it sounded like there was. I have a couple things I want to share with you guys. But I went on a little work trip, like a little work mastermind, and it was fascinating and eye-opening, and I learned a lot, and I had a couple of like epiphanies, if you will. A little bit of a come to Jesus about my channel and just various things. I don't know, the things that I didn't realize that I was looking at in a different way. It has to do with you guys. Like, this has to do with y'all, not just me. Okay, so we're gonna get there. We'll talk about that stuff. For right now, I'm gonna start cleaning up in here and get these kids on board with cleaning up. It's already like close to lunchtime. I honestly don't know when CR will be back. Sometimes they stay out till like 7 o'clock at night, but it is really, really hot here, as it always is. I say that every time, but just I want you to know that it's hot. So I'm gonna tell you 60 times in one video that it's hot, just so you know for sure. If there's any question, you know it's hot. So they might not stay out fishing all day because it's a long time to be out on the water when it's hot. So anyways, let us clean up. Oh my God, look at this. Really? A blanket? And, like, she's not even opening her eyes. She's not even bothering to like look at me and acknowledge. Stupid human. You clean up. I'm going to nap. Enjoy your nap, you lazy bum. I'm bopping outside really quickly because I'm gathering some paint and supplies. Kennedy and Shelby have some summer projects that they're helping with around here on the farm, and one of those is to help us finish painting some of the fencing where we had to repair fencing. We need those boards painted black. And then over at the chicken coop where CR built the additional fencing stuff for the ducks, that needs to be painted over there. So I'm just gathering supplies, and that's one of Kennedy and Shelby's summer projects that they're going to be doing is painting. Hello, Poopy. All right, so this is the fence area that they're working on that CR just built. So got our paint, and they're going to paint it obviously the same oilcloth, Benjamin Moore oilcloth, and that's what's on the front of the duck coop as well. So the girls are going to work on that, which will get this project closer to the finish line. It is very hot outside, so I found this little packet in the pantry of lemonade things. So I'm going to make the girls a pitcher of lemonade and take it out to them while they're painting, because I don't want them to get dehydrated. And you know how kids, they don't always love to just drink plain water. Sometimes they won't drink enough just water. So make them some lemonade. Let's see if I have any fresh lemons that I could squeeze into it. I know I don't have enough to make lemonade, but maybe I have some just to squeeze into it and make it pretty. It's not fancy, but that'll do. Some lemonade. I'm sure they will appreciate it. I don't have enough hands, so sorry. I'm gonna have to leave you guys behind. Well, CR just got home from fishing a little while ago. They caught nothing, and it was as I expected. It was hot, and they were too hot to continue fishing. So they came home, and we just got a call from the orthodontist that, long story short, Shelby's pet pig chewed up her retainers. These are things, if I could write a book of things I never thought I would say as a parent, that's definitely one of them. My daughter's pig chewed up her retainer, and yet here we are. So I had to drop it off yesterday for them. I dropped the mold off yesterday for them to make her a new one. And now, apparently they closed at noon on Friday, so they've taped it to the door. So now I've got to drive the 30 minutes over to her orthodontist office to go get that, and let's hope it's still taped to said door. In true Angie fashion, I got home. I actually have to like think back in my brain about what I was doing when I was vlogging 2 days ago, because boy, a lot of life has happened in the last 2 days. I went to get Shelby's retainer, I came home, and then I got sucked into, if you are a homeschooling mom, you may know, this is the vortex of curriculum research. When you decide you just want to look at one thing, maybe you're watching someone's video and they mention something that you've never heard of. You're like, I'm just going to look at that. And then that leads to something else and something else. It's a rabbit hole like no other rabbit hole. And I fell down it until about 1 o'clock in the morning. Then we got up the next day and had to scurry back to Charlotte. My niece Lucy was having her silks recital. She does the aerial silks, you know, like Cirque du Soleil, where they wrap themselves up in the silk and then down to the ground. It's insane. I really don't know how they do it. My butt cheeks and thighs and everything hurt just watching. But she did beautiful. And then we went back to my sister's house for just a little bit for Betty, my niece's first birthday. That little cute Cabbage Patch baby. She's the cutest baby. Oh my gosh, I just want to eat her face. We are back together again. Marriage is what? No, marriage is not what brings us together today. What brings us together today is I got to finish this vlog, but here's what I've decided. We're going to have like Reading Rainbow style story time with Angie. I'm not one for like a lot of graphics and stuff in videos, though I love that. I love watching channels that do that. Lots of like editing flares, if you will. I just don't have time, nor do I really even know how to do that. But I would like to have like a little story time with Angie break where people who are like, dear God, I can't listen to this woman talk for another minute, can just click out. And those of you who enjoy the story times can settle in. The whole point of this having this story time is there's two things that I need to tell you about, and I just can't let another vlog go by, especially because I'm not putting up as many vlogs, so I need to like word vomit on you. So put your hazmat suit on, because here we go. When I need to tell you about the immediate issue is that I had gone out of town for a couple days for like a work thing. We'll talk about that in a second. Upon returning on Tuesday, you know, you go through the airport, you feel scummy, you need a shower, and it was probably like 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'm in the shower and the water starts like backing up, and I'm like, why is the shower filling? This is not, we don't have a tub shower, it's a freestanding shower. And I'm like, why is that, like, it's starting to like hang out around my ankles? What's happening here? You know, I lose a lot of hair, so at first I thought maybe the drain is clogged, but it wasn't. And I had just recently put drain stuff down there, so I didn't think that was it. This is TMI, I'm really sorry, but look, I lived it, so you can hear about it and you'll live. Poop started coming back up, like sewage from the sewage line, the septic line, started backing back up into the shower. Feces, human feces. There's something extra grotesque about human feces. I can deal with most animal feces and baby feces. Adult human feces, hard pass. I still have conditioner in my hair that needs to be rinsed, but obviously this is not going to do. Not only is there feces, but the water is overflowing out of the shower now, because you know, you have like a little lip around a freestanding shower, but certainly not, it's not a tub. So it's like backing up and overflowing onto the bathroom floor. So I call for Christopher like a child needing help from a parent. So he comes in there and he's like, oh my gosh. And at this point, the toilets are gurgling and the tub, our little like the soaking tub or whatever, it is now gurgling and poop water and chunks of poop are coming back up out of that drain as well. At this point, my husband informs me that there's clearly something wrong with the septic and we can no longer flush toilets or do anything until he can get a hold of a plumber. Very long story short, we have this wonderful crew who, y'all know, in the fall of last year, we had septic issues as well, and they had to come out and put 200 extra feet of septic line in our yard. They had to rip up our whole yard and give us 200 extra feet of septic line. Apparently, we just poop so much in this house that that's not even enough. It's unbelievable. He told us that usually they have to empty people's septic tanks like once a year, and they've already done ours 2 or 3 times since we moved here. And now it's backed up again, and we thought maybe it was because it was full. So they said, we'll come out first thing in the morning. So they came out the next morning and, oh no, the tank is not full. That wasn't the problem. Another whole day goes by with no resolution. It is now Thursday. Okay, remember I told you this started on Tuesday. It's now Thursday, and we have 10 people living in our house and have not been able to flush any toilets since Tuesday. I just want you to let that sink in for a second. The level of grotesqueness. Now, here's what I had to do. You know, as a mother, we just have to like figure it out, okay? I'm trying not to use curse words. It's very hard to tell this story without curse words. I want you guys to know how difficult it is for me to tell you stories without using any foul language. I immediately tell my kids, boys, pee outside. Don't pee inside, go outside and pee. Go pee by the duck pen. We're trying to keep the fox away anyways. Foxes will, male urine, male dog or human male urine will keep foxes away. They don't like it. Female urine, they don't care. Male urine, they don't like. So I told the boys, everybody go pee by the duck pen on the outside. I'm sure the ducks were like, hey, what the heck is going on? But I'm like, you guys gotta put toilet paper in the garbage. Like we can't just, it will just fill up with toilet paper. So needless to say, there was a whole management that had to go on. And when there's 10 people pee and poop and I've got to manage everyone's bowel movements for 2.5 days, not the highlight of my life. So it's Thursday. I have a hair appointment and I am just thanking the dear Lord above for all my gray hair, which gives me an excuse to go get that covered up and get the heck out of here and go where I can use a toilet and flush it. And so I get there, I'm talking to the girl who does my hair and I'm like telling her what's going on. And I'm like, I really just hope that this is solved by the time I get home. CR had reached, I'd gotten a hold of a plumber, a different plumber. Those guys that came out before, they're like our septic guys. The actual plumber, that's a different thing. And so, by the way, in case you haven't followed our, I don't even want to say like journey, it's been an escapade, okay? An escapade since we moved here. Finding people to do skilled labor, impossible, okay? Impossible. Any of the skilled labor jobs, impossible to find. And when you do find them, they're in such high demand, they just raise their prices sky high for jobs they don't want to do. That way, if you do hire them, at least they're making a crap ton of money, and most of the time you don't, so they can stick to jobs they do want to do. So we have had a heck of a time finding any kind of skilled labor. I'm talking electricians, plumbers, anything. CR finally finds this guy. He says, I will come out this afternoon. I will try to come out this afternoon. So of course, you know, we don't know if he's actually going to show up or not. I get home and he says, well, there's like good news and bad news. So the good news was the plumber did show up and he was able to get our septic working. But basically what he said is that the line that's by close up to our house, he stuck like this scope thing through both ends. And I guess like what's up close to the house, it looks like a lot of like tree roots and stuff. Again, I don't know when that septic line was laid, but remember that the bone structure of our house was built in 1930. So it's been around for a long time. I doubt the septic is obviously that old. The septic has been around for a long time. Our air conditioners are from the 1980s and still kicking somehow. Don't ask me how, I don't know. But the septic is starting to like tree roots and stuff through it. So, you know, he was able to kind of unclog it so that we can begin to use our toilets again and flush them and showers and all of that. It's very likely, he said, like, if y'all are planning on staying here, you know, if it's all 10 of you are planning on like staying here, living here, then you're probably going to want to replace this septic line. Over the years, if I were to total up how much we've spent on poop related things, the septic in our old house, if y'all recall, the pump kept breaking. There we were on like city like sewer stuff. So it would have to pump up from our house to the street. And we always had problems with that pump. When Jonah was a toddler, he flushed one of those passies, the wubbanubs that has like the stuffed animal on the end. He flushed a wubbanub down there and blocked our septic. No one told me like when I was 18 or when I got married, like, by the way, a good portion of your life and the money you earn over your lifetime will be spent on dealing with feces. It wasn't part of like adulting 101. Like, brace yourself. Poop is a big part of being an adult. Not just your own poop, being constipated, pooping too much, not pooping enough. Like, that'll be a big part of your life. But then also everyone else's poop and dealing with it and where it goes. I was unprepared and I'm not happy about it. So that's the first part of catch you up on disgusting things around here. So the other part is actually not disgusting, it's good news, but I had to get that out of the way so I can let you know, like, this is where I've been mentally for the last week, is dealing with this. I told you guys that I went on like a little work trip, and it was basically like a mastermind. It's not often that I get to talk with other women who do the same thing that I do for a living, and where we get to share like the highs and the lows, the good things, the bad things, swap not just advice, but encouragement, to find, you know, hey, I'm not alone in like this thing that's hard, or this thing that drives me crazy, or this thing I didn't expect. So many industries that you work in, you know, you can find community, if you will. And this one's a little tough, especially because, well, everyone that I'm like friends with online does not live anywhere near me. For me, it was really cool to get to meet some of those people that I've talked to online but never met in person, but also just to learn, why is my bank calling me on a Sunday? What do you want? It was so interesting to me, and some of the, I guess, like biggest takeaways for me and the most encouragement that I got out of it has like brought me home with like this renewed sense of why I'm here, why I show up online, why I continue to make content. I've been making content for a long time, and for many years it was not a paying job for me. And so it's really morphed, and how I've shown up online, what kinds of videos I make, what kinds of topics I talk about, all of that has changed a lot over the years. I feel like every year or so I have this like existential crisis where I don't know why I'm showing up online. I don't know why I'm here. I get frustrated with certain things, and I start to get really down. And it's not about like the business side of things. It's about, I grew up, you have to remember that like I'm probably older than a lot of people that watch my content. I grew up before the age of Aquarius, before the age of the internet. And so, well, you know what I'm saying. There was no social media. These kind of platforms were not around when I was in high school and stuff like that. I think Facebook started when we were in college. So I've lived a lot of life, more life without social media and the internet than I have with it. You know, it's always a learning curve for me, how to show up, how I want to be present, how much I want to be present, you know, watching how easy it is to get really sucked into different things and different platforms. And so I constantly have to have this like check-in, and at times I will go like radio silent, you know, and not show up in certain places and not post content in certain places because I mentally just need a break from it. But it is hard because you're always battling the business end of things, which is the algorithm and what does it want from you. And the truth is, you don't get to just post and talk about whatever it is you feel like. That's really not how it works. You must, if you want to have any kind of success with it, you do have to, you know, sort of live within a framework of like, what does YouTube want from you? And the most annoying part is you don't, when you're first starting, you don't realize that you are essentially building this scaffolding like around yourself and boxing yourself in, because one day YouTube will pick a video of yours and it will take off, and then that's the only thing it ever wants from you ever again. At least that's what it feels like. And the other piece of it, which if we're gonna go here, then let's just go here. I feel like we're having our come to Jesus. Let's just do it. It is very difficult to completely ignore the negative voices. And sometimes, despite the fact that for the most part, things are really positive, but the problem is that, you know, I think of it like food dye, right? Like you've got a cup of water, delicious, ice cold water. You love it so much. It's nice water. It's encouraging water. It's friendly water. And then you take one little drop of food dye. It just takes one little teeny drop of evil, mean food dye that's just desperate for attention and trying to ruin your life, and drop it in there and it colors the whole thing, right? I hate like the term like haters and stuff like that. I don't love any of that terminology, but dealing with really negative people, and in some cases, as I've alluded to over the last 2 years, people that cross boundaries, of personal boundaries. Y'all know, like, if you pay attention to anything I say or post or talk about, it should not come as a surprise to you. I'm a big supporter of the First Amendment. I believe in your right to say whatever in the heck you want about me. I've always said, like, this is my space here, this online space, so I do protect my community here. This is my little internet home. And again, if I wouldn't let you come sit in my living room and say it, then I'm not going to let you come sit in my comments and be nasty. So that's kind of always been my approach with that. But what you do in other places of the internet, up to you, I don't care. The problem is when people take it off of internet chatter, when they put down the Cheetos and the Mellow Yellow and pick up the phone and or get in their car or do other things that are in real life to attempt to intimidate or threaten or whatever. Those are the things that I cannot tolerate, will not tolerate, should not have to tolerate. I have allowed some of those people to color how I see things in this space. I've said this a million times and I will preach it till the day I die. I do not know why people waste their time watching channels of people that they hate. I don't understand hate watching. I wouldn't have time. I'm shocked that anyone does. I really am. With all of the things that you could do with your life, with all of the skills you could learn, the relationships that you could steward, the things you could do with your kids, I'm always having to, because it is the internet, and because it is also my business, I'm always having to be very careful. I feel like not water myself down, but it's like, you know, I want to be Angie, but not all the way. Okay, I can't be all the way Angie. So we just have to be like 80%. There's 20% that I put in my pocket and exists for the people I spent time with in real life. But that 80% online. And I feel like it was getting to the point where I was vlogging less because I'm not an actress and I cannot show up in this space. And I'm not happy to be here when I feel like I'm just making content to put something out, when I'm just trying to placate people or whatever. It shows, it comes through in the videos. I know that. Because I'm not an actress. I have no intention of being, never wanted to be. And so I just can't fake it. I cannot fake it. Ask my husband. I can't fake it. I just felt like, I'm having such a hard time because I feel like I don't know who I'm talking to anymore. I guess if I could boil it all down to something, it would be that I felt like I don't know who I'm talking to anymore. After going this weekend and talking to some of these other women and finding out, like, as we're friends and we enjoy each other's channels, like, what is it that you enjoy about my channel? What is it that I enjoy about yours? What is it that brings the normal people? And I'm going to use that word, though I don't love it in most circumstances. I will use it in this one. The normal, sane people to your channel, to your content. I did something I never thought that I would do, and I'm disappointed in myself for doing it. I feel like I've let myself down. The kind of person that I've always been, I've let myself down in allowing myself to back down from who I am, from how I want to be in this space, from how I want to show up for y'all that I feel like are friends. When I meet you guys in person, when you stop me at a store or a gas station or, you know, wherever, a mall, wherever I may be that we run into each other, which is still absolutely wild to me. But whenever that happens and I meet y'all in person, I'm always like, oh my gosh, she's so cool. I could be friends with in real life. It always reminds me that those insane people are such a small portion. They're loud, okay? Insane people usually are. They are loud and they are obnoxious and it's annoying from time to time. And I hate even giving it the attention I'm giving it in this video. But I'm only doing it so that I can just explain to y'all like where my headspace has been, where I want to go moving forward. I love this. I love doing this. I love talking to you guys. I love sharing different parts of my life. I came back from this trip feeling refreshed and renewed and, you know, feeling like, you know what, I will never be happy, like truly happy with what I'm putting out there. I will never feel really fulfilled in what I'm doing completely if I feel like I am always watering myself down. I had this like stirring and feeling like, yes, I don't care. You know what? Some people are not going to like me. Big deal. There's people who haven't liked me my entire life. Okay? Get in line. But I was watching something the other day and I was like, that's it. That's exactly it. I'm so tired of feeling like I can't be myself because people are like, you're too much. I saw this girl on Instagram and she said that she gets the same thing where people will say, you're too much, you're too much. And she says, go find less.
And she's made like a t-shirt. I ordered it. I'm gonna wear it. I love it. Like, if I'm too much, go find less. I'll never understand why someone would stick around and watch videos of someone they don't like or that they think is annoying or whatever. Like, of course, I'm annoying. I know that. I've been being told that since I was a child. It is who I am. Angie Annoying Braniff. It should be my middle name. I can be obnoxious. I can be loud. For the people whose cup of tea I am, we get along great. For people whose cup of tea I'm not, we don't. In fact, I can't, let me see, can I show you? Oh, that's the sticker that I have on the back of my laptop. It says, not your cup of tea. Because I'm well aware that I'm not everyone's cup of tea. I never tried to be. I have no desire to be. I realized that by watering myself down so much and feeling like I needed to, sort of put on the phone voice, that's what I call it. I don't know if any of y'all remember or have, especially a Southern mother, okay? If you grew up with a Southern mother, you know the phone voice, where 1 minute she will be like, y'all need to close the door and stop eating all the popsicles. And then the phone rings and then she's like, hi, hello, yes, okay, great. That's the Southern mom phone voice, okay? And I feel like a lot of times I was showing up in this space with my phone voice on, just trying to create content that was helpful and useful, but very much watering myself down to avoid any kind of controversy, right? To avoid anybody saying this or saying that or coming after me or hating me. Nobody likes to be disliked. I don't like to be disliked, but there's a lot of things I don't like that I can do absolutely nothing about. And that is one of those things. I can do nothing about that. I've also discovered that whether or not you like someone is often on you, right? Like if someone, I don't like them, it's on me. There's something about them oftentimes that I see in myself that I don't like, or they remind me of someone else. There's all kinds of reasons that people won't like you. And the reason I'm sharing this is not just to sit here and like pat myself on the back or stroke my own ego about this topic. It's to say, if you are experiencing this in your life too, maybe at your church, maybe at the school that your kids go to, maybe at your job, maybe wherever, you're experiencing people feeling like you are too much and, like, ugh, this person, here she comes again. If you are the kind of girl who's been told for so much of her life, like, stop talking, you talk too much, you're this, you're too much this, you're too much that, you gotta learn to let that stuff go. You'll spend your entire life being miserable if you feel like you're always watering yourself down for people who probably won't even like the watered down version of you either. That's the truth. While I feel like I have tried so hard to be as authentic as I can. I really hate all those buzzwords. While I've tried to be as authentic as I can, I still feel like I have always, again, kind of brought the phone version of myself, and I'm just kind of tired of doing it. And I think that's part of the reason that I quit picking up the camera, that I quit wanting to vlog so much, because I felt like if I can't just be myself, then why be here? Anyways, that's it. That's all I have to say. Moving forward, if you don't like me, you're not gonna like the future content. If you're actually here because you feel like, yeah, you're weird and I'm weird and we can be weird together, then I think you will like the future content, because life's too short. Life's too short to water yourself down for people who will never like you anyways. I'm not going to water myself down anymore. I hope that you don't in your life as well. I've struggled again with, this could be a whole separate video, which, dear God, this video is gonna be so long. I've struggled for so long with exactly what to share and show on the vlog channel. We started years ago and shared a lot of like family related content, and the family space on YouTube has changed a lot over the years. And we just have found ourselves moving away and away and away from sharing our kids much, if at all, anymore. Feel like because it's been a good bit now that we've really tailored back sharing the kids, we've managed to drop off a lot of the people who were just here for the kids, which is super weird anyways. And so I've got some ideas of things that I want to share that are not just gratuitous self-licking ice cream cone, if you will. Even though I want to, be fully myself, I still want to share content with you guys that is either providing you some kind of information, encouragement, education, entertainment, one of those E words, right? That's the goal. There will be some fun things coming up. I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited too. Wow, this video will be crazy long. I'm not gonna apologize because I had things I needed to say, and I don't like editing out 20 minutes of things that it's like, look, this is my opportunity to talk to you guys and just blech, and like get it out there and talk about it. I'm excited for future content. I hope you are too. Let me know what you guys think. I think it could be fun to incorporate some live streams on this channel. Because I love just talking with you guys so much, I think it would be fun to do live streams where you can ask questions and we can interact in real time. It's also far more conducive for somebody like me who likes to... Okay, that's it. I'm done. I'm done. Goodbye.